Thank you so much, Laura, for joining us today. Laura Westcott, from creating music to writing about music, you've experienced the music industry inside and outside. What single experience are you most thankful for?
Wow. Well, I write a gratitude journal on a daily basis, so I'm thankful for lots of things. To single out just one thing, it would have to be the moment where I left a very secure job that I was very proud to be working for. It was when I was working for the Times newspaper. I was working with them for, I think it's about 7 or 8 years. And I knew that music was my calling, but I knew that I had this anxiety as a performer. So I didn't know how I would personally create a career in the music industry. So what I wanted to do was help other people that were very talented get paid for their music. So I had this idea of creating a company called Soundcheck, and I had the courage to start the company. But this one person who was my boss at the Times, her name's Jessica Carson, she encouraged me to apply for voluntary redundancy at the Times, which meant I was empowered to be able to have some financial backing to start my first company. And that was a very selfless act from her, because she loved working with me, but she helped me, and I'll always be thankful for that, because I don't know where I'd be without that help. And so, and now we're still, in touch, and she's the vice president of Sony Music now, which is amazing. So she ended up having a career in music as well. But yeah, that's definitely something that when you just asked me that question, she just popped into my head immediately.
Beautiful.
Wow.
How did you eventually get over your anxiety to perform?
Coaching. So a few years ago, I discovered that coaching, which isn't counselling, it's not therapy. This is it's all based on neuroscience, and it's more of a conversation, and also mentoring. I received coaching from Stuart Lane, and that was how I overcame my anxiety. And I realised that this is something that lots of people would benefit from, and not many people knew about it. When I had anxiety as a young performer, I trained as a classical singer, and for me the anxiety spiraled, because in classical singing you have to be on time, in tune, in a certain key, pitch, certain dynamic. There's a lot to think about, and it's not much room for your own personal creativity. So I didn't realise I was just in the wrong position, the wrong job. I had the anxiety, not realising why. So the doctors put me on medication, and there was antidepressants from the age of 17.
Oh.
From the age of 17 to 30, I was on them. And then I started having the coaching in my 30s. So I feel that if we'd had more knowledge about what works and what doesn't, actually having coaching instead of the medication probably would have been a better solution for me.
Right.
Wow.
So your aha moment was when you realized that you need to be the creative and not just follow a set rule, like on stage?
Yeah, it's all been organic. I didn't plan any of this. But when my friends bought me a voice recorder for my birthday, it was my 40th birthday this year, so quite a significant one. And it was during lockdown. And I was given this gift, and it was a gift of empowerment, because I was here on my own, recording in my bedroom, and no one was here to judge me. I could be whoever I wanted to be. And when I sent it to Chris Marshall, who's the composer for Aura that I'm working with, I'd only met him 1 week before lockdown. It was a complete chance meeting, and I sent him my vocals. I was just messing around in my bedroom, and he didn't edit them. He just kept them in, even the mistakes, were kept in, and it sounds different, and it sounds, I'm pushing a few boundaries, and I'd have lots of slap on the wrists from my choir teachers, for some of the techniques I'm doing, but I'm having fun, and that's the main thing. And I purposely put S's in the wrong place. I purposely come in on a swoop that's always frowned upon, and I like to have fun with it. So yeah, that's how it came about.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Positives out of the lockdown.
Right.
For me, it was a journey. At the first few weeks, probably a month, was very difficult, because we just hosted a few Music with Meanings, which is our live concert series, and we'd just done one at the Albert Hall, and it was with the Royal Marines, and it was a real high for the charity that I founded, Music for Mental Wealth. And literally a week later we locked down, and I just couldn't bear to just put it straight online, because I had to feel
Mm-hmm.
like what everyone else was feeling. So I waited a while and I healed, and then I had the confidence and strength to move our campaign online. And that's when we had the likes of Katie Tunstall and James Bay getting involved, and Joss Stone, and it's kind of snowballed from there. And we did a live event actually when the lockdown lifted, and it was an amazing event. We had Lots Holloway and Tom Spate, and it was Lots' first gig as a man. She's a woman who's now a man, and both of their first gigs since lockdown. I mean, Tom Spate hadn't performed since the Shepherd's Bush Hall earlier on in the year, and it was so amazing, the atmosphere in the room from the audience. I mean, not only the fact that we were united, through lockdown, hearing music again, but also hearing these amazing stories from these fabulous performers talking about mental health so openly, which is something I'm very passionate about. And I can talk about, and I want to encourage and empower people to do more of that, so that we lift the stigma, and it's okay to be open with our feelings.
Right.
Perfect. And speaking of music for mental wealth, how did that all get started? You just told a little bit where it's going. Where did it start?
Yeah.
So it was after I had my coaching, and I had the aha moment. I was like, what happened to me is preventable. And it's a forward-thinking concept. It's like, how do we stop the spiraling of stress, anxiety, low self-esteem into addictive behavioural patterns that then cause long-term effects? It's having coaching, and we're kind of rebranding it like mental wealth mentoring, because coaching can be all sorts of things. It can be vocal coaching, it can be physical coaching, loads of stuff. But mental wealth mentoring, I think it's pretty clear what that means. And we're speaking to Help Musicians, a really amazing charity, about partnering with them and how we can get this service out to more musicians, because and not just musicians, by the way, also tour managers, the staff and the teams that also support them. They're always forgotten about. Well, not always, but we want to help them as well. And that's what Music for Mental Wealth is. And we launched 4 years ago, and we've been delivering workshops to music industry and charities as well. And that's how it all came about. And the whole Music with Meaning campaign only started last year. And that was just, I wanted to empower musicians, to offer them a platform that it's okay to talk about things openly. Mm-hmm. And it's been really well received. We've been featuring well-known established musicians, but also unsigned emerging artists as well in the same concert. And that's been really, really amazing, because they also realize that everybody has the same mental health. We're all the same, that we're all human. And just because they're an idol and they've got money and success doesn't mean they're any happier. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to kind of put those two together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what an incredible campaign, the Music with Meaning, and being able to use music in a way to raise awareness, and to give people permission almost. Isn't that crazy that people feel like a need to have permission to...
Yeah, I mean, it's a self-conscious thing. I mean, and also a lot of musicians probably don't want the audience to know the meaning behind their songs. It's a very personal journey for them. So not everybody wants to do it. But, for instance, Joss Stone did a cover when she performed for our campaign. And that's okay. You can do whatever you want. I mean, just make up your own rules. You don't have to do your own song. You can do something else, what that means to you, if you feel uncomfortable sharing your song.
That's awesome. Well, we know that music unites and inspires and really brings everyone together. Mm-hmm. And it can get someone through a bad time, through a good time. I know Allie and I talk about music all day, every day. Mm-hmm. And it can take you to a certain point, like, oh, I remember where we were when we heard that song. Do you remember mm-hmm. how that felt? Mm-hmm. And excited to hear about your Aura project.
Yeah, this character Aura. So, then Laura became Aura. So we are dying to hear the story. We want to know well, please introduce us to who she is and how she is very similar to you and very different perhaps as well.
Yeah, she is the alter ego, I suppose. It came about organically. Again, I didn't sit in my bedroom planning what's happening. Aura kind of started actually in 2013 when I was living in New York. I was very good friends, still am very good friends with Chris Kennedy. He's one of the producers on Sirius XM.
Mhm.
And he's very spiritual. And he said to me one day, he said, Laura, you've got an amazing aura. He goes, I can see it clearly and it's violet. And I was like, what does this mean? And I was Googling it and I was like, wow, and obviously my name's Laura. So it's Aura, Laura, it's a part of my name. And then it was 4 years ago, I was on my way home from Thailand. I was having one of those, things. I wasn't feeling very happy with my life. So I had a little bit of escapism and I went away for a couple of weeks and I came back and I'd Googled music for flying. Relaxing music for flying is exactly what I Googled at the airport. And this song came up called Flying by an artist called Pederby Helland. And I listened to it on the plane and the air stewardess gave me a bottle of water. And on the bottle of water, it had the label Aura.
Stop. What?
I took a picture. It says Aura, 100% natural.
That's awesome.
I know. And I was listening to the track Flying. It gets better than this. Wait. So I then messaged Pederby Helland through the the contact me form on YouTube. It's just a very organic thing. Here we go. This is the picture.
Oh my gosh!
Awesome.
No way! Wow.
It even looks like there's a man flying in the clouds, in the background. Anyway, so I was listening to Flying while flying with an Aura water bottle, and I messaged Pederby Helland saying, oh yeah, I missed a slight ingredient out. So I'm the voice of an app called Mindwell in America. And I had no intention of being the voice of this app. I literally recorded my voice with my business partner, Stuart Lane, who's the lead coach of Music for Mental Wealth. He wrote all the scripts. And I just recorded my voice as like a temp guide for them to hire a professional. They wanted me. So I've just done all these hundreds of meditations. I had quite a lot of practice as a voiceover artist. I'm there on the plane with this thing. I messaged the composer and I said, I really fancy putting a guided meditation on your music. What do you think about that? And he replied saying, Laura, it's Pederby Helland from Norway. You got my music in a film. With my first company, I told you, a sound check. And he's like a 20-year-old composer in Norway. And I was connected with him. And
crazy.
we then did this track together called Flying. And you'll hear a little bit of singing in it. I sing a little bit in the background, and that's where it was born, that idea of combining my speaking voice with my singing voice. And then this year, just before lockdown, I met Chris Marshall, and now there's no stopping us. And we've got a new track that we've been working on for the last couple of months called Metamorphosis. And I really, went to town on getting prepared for this one because I bought some caterpillars that have been growing into butterflies, and I let them off in my garden, and they came back. And it was one of those really powerful moments. And I watched the transition from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and there was loads of blood. It was painful. They were shaking. It was a journey which I had never seen. So we've soundscaped Metamorphosis, and you'll hear pain. You'll hear growth. You'll hear crackling and bones crunching, and you'll hear that. And we've had fun with it. But it's a very different track to Somewhere in Time and Dreamland.
That's really cool.
Wow.
That's a beautiful story.
It's so incredible, all the synchronicities and everything sort of organically happening.
And I apologize. My daughter's name's Aurora. So anytime I go to say Aura, I say Aurora.
Yeah.
Oh, Aurora's, yeah.
But,
and of course you've got Phoenix.
Yes, and Phoenix. Yeah, so the synergies are crazy.
So,
with your aura, though, I see greens and blues also.
okay.
So you have a lot of colors going on. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you. What do they mean, the greens? What does the green?
Green's healing, I know that.
Okay.
Blue, I can't remember. I used to look them up, but it's something I don't talk about very often now. But
what does Ali have?
She's
white, this bright white and gold.
Oh, what's that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna be looking some things up after this call today.
I think it's also healing.
Oh, Okay. Well, and also yesterday, of course, we released the Phoenix Rising song as part of our, and that's Aura, featuring Aura as her debut on a collaborative track with Rebecca Fitch. So we commissioned Rebecca because she's an amazing singer. I saw her last year at this gig in London. She'd only just moved over from Belfast, and I just knew she had to be part of this. And she performed at our launch of Phoenix Rising. I commissioned her to write our Phoenix Rising anthem called Time to Rise. I gave her some words. She created the song, and we've kind of had some back and forth with the idea. And then we go into the studio and record it, and I start singing on it again organically. She completely empowered me, and now we're kind of duetting on it, and it's going to be released on the 18th of November across all the platforms, and I really hope you like it.
Oh,
I think we're going to love it. The taste that you gave us the other day, we are really, really excited.
Thank you.
Let me pause 1 second. Let me get the cat. He's trying to get up here.
Okay, yeah, sure. And we featured my school choir on it, which is great because that's where I learned to sing. So again, it's like thanking the people that helped me get to where I am. It's like going back saying, you meant a lot to me. I want you involved in what I'm doing now. And they loved doing it. And of course it sounds great. And it's such an uplifting, powerful song that what's not to love? What's not to love about being asked to sing a song? And they're all in lockdown at the boarding school anyway.
Right, for sure. Well, and then to have, I love how so many elements of your story, I'll wait for Jack to get back. I want him to be part of this bit of it. Oh, he's brought a friend to share with you.
I went down and he said, Daddy.
Hello.
Can you say hello?
Hi.
Can you say hello to Laura?
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, you want the pencil?
All right, I'll take him back down.
You just wanted to say hi.
Say bye-bye.
Oh.
Bye. Do you want me to wait?
Yeah.
We, of course, have fabulous editing powers over here, so we can stitch things up properly.
That's okay. Oh, it's good. Is that Phoenix then?
That's actually Forest. Forest. So we have an Espen, an Ethan, a Aurora, a Phoenix, a Easton, a Phoenix, and a Forest.
Wow.
This takes me a moment to go in order. Yeah.
Yeah, so I apologize. Anytime I go downstairs, it's like a reset.
Yeah. So one thing, I mean, in all of these conversations that we've had with you today and previous, there seems to be so much connection from past to present and vice versa, where it's a sort of all things coming together. And so what were you saying now about your school and where giving back that way?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I started doing the singing during lockdown, some Latin lines were flying out of me. I learnt Latin at school, and I realised that when I did Somewhere in Time, some of my Latin was a bit rusty, shall we say, because I actually had some feedback from Lord Alistair Aberdare, who I consult with his charity, and I played in the song, and he's like, the Latin's terrible. And I'm like, oh no. So I actually contacted my old Latin teacher from Northbourne Park School, Michael Webb, and I contacted my singing teacher, who was our music director from school, Chris Berryman. They're both in their 70s, and they were both very happy to assist me in this new project. And they helped me translate the Latin. And Michael doesn't have email or internet, so he hasn't heard any of the tracks yet, but he takes a phone call, and he will translate the lines on the phone. And then the school choir, when we recorded the Phoenix Rising track the other day, of course it made sense. We want children in this song. So I contacted the choir and said, I contacted the headmaster of the school, Sebastian, and I said, would you consider having the school choir on the track? And he said, it's an amazing track, of course. And it's so uplifting and anthemic, and they had fun recording it during lockdown at boarding school, and it's just win-win all round. So yeah. I think it's really important to thank people on your journey. The most important thing is to just recognize who has helped you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I love the way that you use your talent to not serve just you and your ambition, but to serve others and to give back to others.
That's where it all came about. I mean, I wanted to help people sleep. I know how difficult it is to sleep when you're stressed. Sleep is so important for the whole day ahead, you know, and it's when our bodies heal. So obviously it prevents illnesses as well. It's just too important to miss and take for granted. So when I was channeling Aura, I was trying to have a voice. I mean, I don't sound like this. When you hear me, it sounds totally different, but I drop it down and it's, you know, and I wanted to not sound annoying. So I just like, what voice won't sound annoying to people and won't grate on people? So, but this new track, Metamorphosis, is actually less spoken word. It's actually more singing. You know, it's trial and error. We're just learning as we go. But I think people will like this more.
Wow. Well, we're excited about it. And
everything we've heard is,
yeah, we're loving
it vibrates. Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope that we can go back to live events again. I'm ready to go back on stage, and that's really exciting. I have been invited to perform at the Isle of Wight Festival next year.
Wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be amazing. I'm very lucky that that opportunity's come to me, and I want to grab it with both hands if the opportunity is available for everybody to perform again next year. I just really hope it is.
Yeah, no, we all do so much. What do you, your story is so beautiful and so winding and comes back and here and there. And right now, what is it that you want people to know about you, your work, what you're doing, where you're going with it?
To involve people, where would you want them to go?
Right. How do people work with you? How do people connect with you?
I've got a website, so it's Laura-Westcott.com, and you can email me through there, and it's got all my projects on there. You can listen to Aura on YouTube and Spotify. Aura is quite a popular name, so you have to put in Aura Dreamland, you'll find it. But again, it's on my website. If you go Laura-Westcott.com, all the links are there. I just want people to know that it's playful, not to take it too seriously, and to allow themselves 20 minutes out of their day to go on a journey. That's what it is. It's a 20-minute journey. It doesn't have to be at night time. You can take a nap in the afternoon if you want, and also just to message me if you have any ideas. Like, we're all up for collaborating, especially with Phoenix Rising. You know, it's the Phoenix Rising Collective is the name now that we're publishing our Time to Rise track. And we want to collaborate with people, and it's all about having fun and helping each other.
That's beautiful.
Right.
That's
awesome.
We appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.
Great talking to you.
Yeah.
We can talk to you all day.
Yes.
As long as you promise to sing us to sleep.
Yeah, no, I will. And also, obviously, join the Phoenix Rising movement. That's really, I mean, Tiffany, as you know, she's my co-founder. It's just amazing what we're doing with, you know, illuminating and liberating feminine energy in society. It's just these conversations, obviously, we're very authentic and we're nurturing, we're loving in this space. And that's a feminine quality. It doesn't mean we're women. It means we're feminine at the moment, in our feminine flow, and the world needs more of that right now.
Absolutely.
Agreed. Well, you're certainly channeling it very well and inspiring it in other people. So thank you so much for your time and for sharing your incredible stories. And we're honored to know you and excited to share your story with others. For sure.